Hello and welcome once again. Today I'm going to show you how I created this cute little bunny, and he's wearing a hand-stitched scarf as well. So let's get started. I'm using the same cordial slivers that I use for all my projects. And I use it as the core wool because it felts really nicely and quickly. So I'm using that, and I've rolled it into shape for shaping the head first, and I've rolled it into a ball, not exactly a ball but shape of the head, and I'm going to build on it. So this is going to be the nose and forehead. So I'm adding wool right in the middle so it takes the shape of the head, and eyes on both the sides. Here I'm shaping the eyes where the sockets are going to be, and shaping the nose with my needle. So this is the fun part. I really enjoy making the shapes with the needle, and it's like seems quite magical. It's like drawing on wool. And you can see visibly that once you keep felting, the shape becomes quite prominent. You know where exactly you have to add more wool. So I want a chubby looking bunny, and I'm adding more. This is the mouth, and I've just felted a piece of wool and I'm attaching it at the bottom, right underneath the upper lip, you can say. So he's going to have a smiley face. Now I'm attaching the plastic eyes with glue, and as I had made the sockets with my needle, I know exactly where they are going to be inserted. And now the cheeks. I'm adding more wool to the cheeks because I want it to look cute and chubby. So I'm going around each cheek. Now I'm shaping the body of the bunny, and the same core wool, just an elongated shape, or you can make it a bit rounded. It's up to you. So I want a really small bunny, so I'm making it kind of a barrel shaped body, and then I'm going to place the head and go all around with my needle till it's securely attached. Now I feel that the body is too thin, so I'm adding more wool to it just to give it some roundness. And to go all around so it becomes a bit plump. You can add more wool when I cover it with the colored wool. Now the limbs, so these are the little arms. Just roll some wool and felting it. So one end is rounded, that is going to be the hands. So making it simple, not many details. So I want them to be almost equal. Now the tiny little feet, just felted some wool into a round shape. Not exactly round, but really tiny because I want tiny feet. So once they are felted, like, you can see that I measured it with the body, so I don't want them to be too big. Just making some indents with my needle. These are the tiny toes, and I'm going to make little cuts so the toes become more prominent. And then I'm going to felt within those lines. Once both are done, I've dashed them. You can see, dashed them from the bottom, and now he stands and has two cute feet. Now I'm going to put color on it. So I start with the eyes with some dark brown color, and I'm going around the plastic eyes. This gives it a nice look and gives some depth to it. After brown, I'm using some white. Make a thin line around the eyes, and it's up to you if you want to. It makes it look really cute. Now I'm adding color to the rest of the face, and you can make that white line after you've done the brown, so it will be more easier to see where you're laying it down. I'm adding this light brown color. You can choose whatever color you want. So for this eye, I think the white line was a bit hidden, so I'm going around the other eye after I've put the brown color on. Adding more to the head. So I wanted the head to be a bit slightly bigger from the forehead upwards, so I've added some brown wool. For the nose, I'm using a sienna color. As you can see, it's looking really cute. As we move on, I'm using the same dark color that I used around the eyes. I'm going around the mouth and underneath the nose, just to make the features a bit prominent. And I cut off the extra bits. I'm adding white on the front body. And felting it down, and the back will be covered with brown. While adding the color from the back to the front, I don't want a very prominent line, so I'm just gonna blend them, the white and the browns. Don't want a really prominent line. Now I'm adding more brown to the cheeks because I think the chubbier they are, the cuter he's gonna look. I'm adding more brown wool. I'm adding color to the hands as well. So just roll some brown wool and trying to hide the white parts. And this is going to make them a bit more chunkier than they were for, so you have to make really small arms in the first place. So when you cover them with color, they're not too extra thick. I end up making really thick hands and really big ears. So I still have to work on that. That's my cat. And I'm attaching them on both sides. Because it's really small, it's easier and a fun project. And once you've got a lot of practice, it doesn't take very long, but it does take long to felt the wool into shape, but not as long as it used to take me in the beginning. Like I've been felting for 2 years now, so now I think that I finish my projects a bit faster than I used to. I'm adding more wool to the bottom, so he's a bit more chunky and rounded from the bottom as well. So I'm going around with my fine needle, just getting the shapes right and make sure they're all symmetrical. I'm adding little white to the cheeks and the chin. So I want a bit thicker ears, so I'm using carded wool because I usually don't use the core wool for ears. I directly use the color, but I want them a bit thicker. So I'm using a really thin layer of core wool and I'm going to cover it with the brown. Once I've got the shape right, I have to see that they both are of the same size and just rub them between my palms. And I am going to iron them out with my hair straightener. But first I have to put down some pink color on the insides that are going to be the insides of the ears and a really thin layer of pink. And I think that some white was showing on the other side, so I'm just adding more wool. So once I've ironed them out, I'm going to attach them to the head. I'm using my simple pins to get them where I want them, and pins are really useful just to see where you have to attach the limbs and the ears, etc. Just want them to be right and a bit folded on the inside. So I fold both the ends in the middle and then attach them. Going all around to make them nice and secure. And you can see the little folds in the ear, so they look more rounded. So I'm going to make a little tail, and I'm mixing some white and brown, and I'm just going to attach it like you attach fur to your felts. It's going right in the middle and then securing it in with my needle. Then I'm going to cut the excess and got a fluffy tail. So for the scarf I'm using a crochet method, and if you don't know how to crochet you'll have to learn because this is a needle felting tutorial. So I'm just going to chain 5 and I'm using double crochet to go along the 5 chains that I've knitted. So with double crochet it becomes a bit faster. So here I've done the scarf and I'm going to wrap it around the neck, and I'm going to put a button here and I'm going to stitch it down with my needle. So it's going to be placed here. You can glue it on if you want. I'm just going to stitch it. I've learned how to crochet using YouTube, so there are really good tutorials out there. And I hope you enjoyed this one. And keep watching videos and make nice creations. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to join you in another project. I'm already thinking what I should make next. And catch you soon. Thank you very much. Here he is all done with a fluffy tail, and I think he looks adorable. He's available on my Etsy store if you want him. Thank you very much for watching once again. Do subscribe to my channel for more tutorials. Thank you.